To the Minister for Police. Yesterday, the Liberal National Government delivered on another significant election commitment with the passage of the home burglary laws.
Sit down, please. Member for Willagee, I call you to order now for the third time. Right.
Might just start again if that's okay, Mr Speaker.
Start again.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Police. Yesterday, the Liberal National Government delivered on another significant election commitment with the passage of home burglary laws. Can the Minister please outline how this legislation will help deliver sentences for violent home invasions that match community expectations, and how fixing the three-strike counting will lead to more prolific offenders being taken out of the community?
Minister for Police.
Speaker, and I thank the member for Forestville for this question. You'll no doubt be immediately racing to inform your constituents of the achievement of yet another Liberal National Government's election commitment in the law and order space. I'm really pleased to see this legislation pass through the council last night, Mr Speaker, and now as a result of this legislation, police are certainly feeling like their work is going to be more meaningful, Mr Speaker, because what we have effectively done is change the counting rules for our repeat recidivist home burglars. So if they are now caught for 3 convictions, convicted of 3 offences of home burglary, they will be going to jail for a mandatory minimum term of 2 years rather than 3 court appearances. Juveniles, 16 and 17-year-olds, will be looking at 12 months in detention, Mr Speaker. But in addition to that, we've increased those penalties for the very small number of violent home invaders who, instead of fleeing when they enter a premises to steal things from the occupant, stay and perpetrate grievous harm against the person, the occupier of the home, or indeed sexually assault or seriously assault them in other ways. Now the penalty for those offenders will be a mandatory minimum term of 75% of the maximum. So for those offenders with grievous bodily harm, they're looking at 7 years, 6 months. If it's a sexual assault, mandatory minimum of 15 years, which will be the starting point now for the courts. So we're really pleased to see these mandatory minimum penalties go through, Mr Speaker, notwithstanding the fact that it did take us some time to get this legislation through the Parliament, Mr Speaker. We had a lot of filibustering, we had a lot of rhetoric, we had, oh, here it comes, the inane monologue, the member for Girraween. Here it comes. Oh. Mr Speaker.
Member for Collie, call you to order for the first time. Right. Minister, through the chair.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. They went through the entire debate, those opposite, high-fiving their mates in the Law Society, saying we're opposing mandatory penalties. They talked against it. We had all of the rhetoric out there. We had all of the bizarre scenarios from the member for Butler. And what did they do, Mr Speaker? Did they vote against it? No. They didn't vote against it. They just sat back quietly, let it pass through. Member for Armidale, so opposed to mandatory penalties. How did you vote? How did you vote?
Member for Armidale, call you to order for the first time. Minister, quick answer through the chair. Right, member for Armidale, I call you to order for the second time. Minister.
So, Mr Speaker, we're really pleased.
Sit down, please. Member for Armidale, call you to order for the third time. Minister.
So, Mr Speaker, we're really pleased to have achieved another Liberal National Government election commitment. We look forward to the implementation of this law in the very near future. Potentially in 4 weeks, this law could be operational. And I commend the members of this House who supported this legislation, not only in what they said, but also in how they voted.
Further questions. Member for